Hello E10, welcome to a video of bearings. This one, example 7, which will combine a few schools and closely related to the sort of skills you need to bring up for the test. So let's have a look. A plane leaves a town and remains on a bearing of 122 degrees for 260 kilometers. Let's draw that. Start with the compass rose. North, south, east, and west. Now, when it's talking about bearings, it's got to come from somewhere, and it's always in the centre of the compass. So this is the town in here. That's where the town is. And the plane leaves the town on a bearing of 122. Now we know that the bearing's got to be measured from north and then goes around clockwise. So if it was going on a bearing of 90, it would head straight east. And if it was a bearing of 180, it would be going directly south. But it's 122, so it's a bit more than 90. Probably looks like, if we do some adding, 32 degrees further south, further past east. So let's go about here somewhere. There's our plane, little black dot for the plane. And so this angle between east and the plane direction is 32. Because a bearing of 90 is there, plus another 32 will take us to the bearing of 122. And this red line has a distance of 260 kilometres. Okay, so do the drawing. Then it says how far south of the town is the plane. These questions I don't like the wording because it's a bit misleading, so I'll just interpret it for you. How far south? So we're going to find out how far along here is the plane. So obviously it's not along here, so I've got to find distance level with where it is now along here. That's what it means. So we'll do a bit of it means making a bit of a triangle. So you have to go level with the plane and go straight across till it hits the south line. And this means how far is it going that way? This distance here. X, if you like. How far is that? What's that distance? So that's all that means. Correct to 1 decimal place. So here's where the trick comes in, because now we've got a right angle triangle. The plane bearing is our hypotenuse. There's our right angle. We haven't got an angle yet, so we need to work that out. That won't take too long. We've got the length of the hypotenuse, and this side here, well, it depends where we put our angle. I'm going to do it this way, by the fact that this whole angle from east down to south is 90. So this angle from the red line to the south is 32 degrees short of that. So from there all the way around to there is 90, right angle. But it's not quite that far, it's only to the red, 32 degrees short of 90, which would make it 58 degrees. Yep. So 58 plus 32 is 90. So we've got an angle we can work with. And I'm going to do it another way in a sec, but that's our angle, that's our one side. So now we've got our three pieces of information. And what we've got here is our hypotenuse, an angle, and this side here is adjacent to that angle. So adjacent hypotenuse is cos. So it's a cos question. The cos of 58, in fact. That's that angle I got from doing this bit here, because we needed the angle inside the triangle. Equals adjacent is the side we're going to find out, and the hypotenuse is the plane direction, distance. Okay, where's our calculator? There. Let's go back. So, what do we do next? Unknowns in the top, numerator, so that multiply gets rid of the fraction. So we're going to multiply both sides by 260. Makes the fraction go, and we put 260 in front of this. Degrees. 137. How many? One decimal place. 137.7 kilometres. That's how far that is. Okay. Now I'm going to do it another way just to see what happens. The other way is to recognise that this line heading from the town east is parallel to this line heading from the plain going back to south. They're parallel. And that angle there is 32. We can also do it by the fact that triangle total angles is 180, but that angle there is 32. Alternate angle to this one. So we can make it a sine question, because that's now, if that's use this angle, 32, that angle is the opposite side to 32. So we can do this. The sine of 32 equals opposite side, because now it's the opposite side to this angle, over 260. Then we multiply both sides. What do we get then? 260 sine of 32. Oh, delete degrees. 137.7, same distance. Now there you go. So you can do it two ways. Okay, part B, the bearing of the town from the plain. Okay, so a couple of ways we can do this. First way is a bit tricky, dangerous, and you've got to be careful with it, because sometimes you're going to get confused. Because the bearing going this way is 122. Basically, we're going to do a 180 and go back the other way. That bearing. So what would mean is adding 180 to that. Because you could turn around, do 180, turn around and go back. That sometimes is easy, sometimes is not. But if you add 180 to that, 122 plus 180 equals 200, 302. That's the bearing of the town from the plain. The other way to do it is to think of it as if we move the compass down to here. So that's north, south, east. There's our east, west. Where's our north? There it is. East, west. And we've already got the angle there, which is handy. So north, east, south and west. Out this way. It's actually 90, 180, 270 plus another 32. 90, 180, 270 plus another 32. Which is 302 degrees. So remember, when you're getting a bearing from something to something else, the original place has got to be the centre of the compass. And so now we've moved the plane as the centre of the compass, and the bearing going back to the town is 302. Thanks everyone.